cigar-shaped ship appeared over the airport base. These cigar-shaped ships were over a mile in length. One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that airport base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African American. They were about 6'4", 6'5", huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them of arrogance. That's exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had controlled a large portion of the galaxy that we live in.
So listen, and how do you know this is true versus that? How do you know the truth versus a lie? It's all in genetics. Only the organic so-called black people on this planet is walking around with 95 to 97% dormant DNA. They call it junk, but it's dormant because it's not active. Only so-called black people, the organic people, are walking around with 95 to 97% dormant DNA. Only the original organic people on this planet can biosynthesize the sun. Everyone else do a portion of photosynthesis. We actually eat the sun. Everyone on this planet, including some of our people, are going to be face down in the French toast dirt for your disrespect to us. You have no idea what you are in the precipice right now. What you all on this planet are facing. First, it has to be the false flags. This is where you see right now, Russia, China is coming in the news now a little bit more, getting you ready for the New Year's. And then they talking about the nuclear warheads. They talk about the nuclear warhead. They talk about the Mach 9 rocket that Russia have created that no air defense can stop. They just throwing these hints out there, let you know that they're going to do some false flags. It's going to be major because you got to get these people conditioned because there's more light, more cosmic rays, more energy is coming into the planet, which means we're going to see more, which means we're going to come back more into our memory. And they do not want that to happen. They would rather us kill each other, because if you kill someone, you take your brother's life because you are in an animal mind state, or you take your sister's life because you're in an animal mind state, you will not ascend. You will not pass through. And this is where we're at right now. That's why you got to get black people angry. That's why you got to get them guns, license to carry. You have to do all. You got to vaccinate them up. You got to get them with drugs. You got to get them to have no morals, no self morals at all. And this is what's happening. Call it what you want. Y'all all can, this is sci-fi. This is some fantasy. See, the fantasy and the bull crap is there a war in the heavens. There is no war in the heavens. This was a test. Earth traveled throughout the solar system. And when we travel out throughout the solar system, we be in the star systems. And once you come into this realm, no matter what you do, you're not going to leave it until we reach the end. And this is where we're at right now. Right now. Period. This is the Great Reset. And all of the people that have animal DNA, because it's virtually impossible for a monkey, a fruit fly, a wolf, a dog to procreate with one another, and they do not possess the intelligence to graft their DNA and infuse it together so that way they can make one living organism that we see today, which is the Asian man, the Arab man, the white man, and all the rest of them. See, that's virtually impossible. So again, call it what you want, but understand and overstand there is only one group of people on this planet that's walking around with 95 to 97% dormant DNA. Everyone else is walking around with 98% animal DNA.
This entire time. They weren't those clumsy reptiles with cute little baby arms. If I told you we've been wrong about dinosaurs this entire time, they weren't those clumsy reptiles with cute little baby arms. No, they were something far more terrifying. They were dragons. And trust me, the evidence is way too crazy to ignore. The Chinese zodiac, right? It's made up of real animals. A pig, a dog, the tiger, the goat. They even got a rat in there. 11 real creatures. And then there's the dragon. Why would they throw in one mythical animal with 11 real ones? What?
Pause. Now, this is why I wanted to play this video for you, right? Now, when you see in their calendar, they had all the species in that calendar that they were genetically spliced with. And in the middle, they had the dragon, the draconian race, the reptilian species. This is what this signifies. It has nothing to do with dinosaurs, the dragon, the draconian race. There are large animals all over this realm. You just can't see them. They're all larger animals in other parts of the solar system. You just cannot see them. But when you look at this video, as I'm playing it, I want you to understand all across the world, over the globe, besides where you would see us at, they had their calendars and stuff showing the species was showing how he spliced and created a group of species. Now listen to this again and look at the calendar and look at the dragon that's there. This goes back to the species that's here to put us through the test.
If it's not time, they weren't those clumsy reptiles with cute little baby arms. No, they were something far more terrifying. They were dragons. And trust me, the evidence is way too crazy to ignore. The Chinese zodiac, right? It's made up of real animals. A pig, a dog, the tiger, the goat. They even got a rat in there. 11 real creatures. And then there's the dragon. Why would they throw in one mythical animal with 11 real ones? What if it's not mythical at all? Now, why do they show up in every single culture? From Europe to Asia, Africa to the Americas. Every ancient civilization has stories of these fire-breathing beasts. Why would these cultures, separated by vast oceans, all end up with the same creatures in their myths? That would be very strange if they all came up with the same thing. It's because they weren't myths. They were real. Now here's where it starts to get wicked. Think about the T-Rex for a second. You know how it's always drawn with those teeny adorable meme arms? Yeah, we all had a good laugh. But what if we've been totally wrong? What if those arms were never arms at all? Picture an ostrich skeleton, small arms, but with wings. The T-Rex. Those arms were wings, man. Massive, terrifying wings it once had in its glory. Don't believe me yet. Here's something wild. In a 1946 dictionary, you can actually find listed under the entry, dragon, now rare. That's right, rare, not extinct. The term dinosaur, that wasn't even a thing until 1841. Before that, for most of human history, we called them what they really were. Dragons, the legends, the stories. Our ancestors weren't making things up. They were documenting history. And here's something else to chew on. Ancient recipes, dating back centuries, call for dragon blood, dragon bones, even dragon saliva. Not just a one-off mention, but many of them. Why would they list ingredients for a creature that never existed? How would you feel if you were baking a cake and then the recipe called for leprechaun hairs? So next time you see a T-Rex skeleton at a museum, don't think of it as just a dinosaur. Think about the wings it once had that tore through the skies. I'm going to go ahead and say this is just a joke for entertainment purposes. If I told you we've been wrong.
Okay, so again, Once I stated to you before, my people, it's not about a specific animal. It's about a specific species that has intelligence. And this species put itself in history, in its history, as it's been moving, as it's been manipulating us. So as I pause right here, look at this calendar right here, the zodiac calendar. Look at all of the animals and look at the dragon in the middle. And remember, it's a rat, it's a pig, and if you pull up the genetics, what do humans share their DNA with? What do they share their DNA with? Huh? Is there. Again, you can call this hatred, you can call it racism, you can call it whatever you want. But here are your creators, complex cell organism, and your creators are now going to be pushed to the surface. You're no longer going to be able to hide who you are. You're no longer going to be able, they're no longer going to be able to use you to do their biddings. See, what you don't even understand, that you are being used. And a lot of you don't want to accept that. This is why AI is coming online. Robots, artificial intelligence is coming online, because you was the first artificial intelligence, something that's not natural. That's what artificial is, something that's not natural that has intelligence. You can walk, you can talk, you have reached a level where you can actually think for yourself if you choose to do so. So this is artificial intelligence, and this is where they say artificial intelligence, when it starts to think for itself, it become crazy, it become violent. So the same thing they saying, Elon Musk is warning you about what? The machines becoming crazy and violent. Abundance.